friend, I'm Trish Taylor. I'm a personal stylist and confidence coach, and I teach online entrepreneurs how to use style as a tool to align their outside with their inside so they can attract their soulmate clients and actually love what they see in their photos. And today I'm hanging out with Ashley Strong, this amazing photographer and brand new mama. Look at this little baby.
Hi, babe.
And she's helped breaking down how she's dealing with mama life, entrepreneur life, and how she's loving her body right now. So, we're gonna share all her style solutions with you today. So, can you tell me the way you thought about your body, has it changed after you had the baby?
A lot. It's quite a blessing what the body goes through, but there's definitely a lot of shifts as a woman. And just getting comfortable back in my clothes. I didn't wear most of my clothes for as soon as I got pregnant, I started showing. I popped really quickly, and so I couldn't wear my clothes. And then it took up until she just turned 6 months on Saturday. It took up until this last month to fit in my clothes again. So it's just been a process of really coming to accept that and honor that and cherish the journey that it's gone through. Yeah,
Yeah, Mom. You did a lot for me, Mom. That's amazing. So I love the positivity that you are sharing right now about your body and your journey, because so many women, right, we go through this big change, and it's hard to feel good. It's hard to show up on camera and be there for our clients, our babies, our lives, and still take care of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So how did you balance all of that together?
It's a really good question, and I think that is just living life and living authentically. I think balancing when it comes to positivity, I think it's who I am as an individual, and I spend a lot of time and energy and research living life in a positive manner and reading books and having affirmation and having a morning ritual and pulling tarot cards and all of that. So I think that's a lot of where my positivity comes from. And having this little being, I know on camera you probably can't see her on the floor here, having this little being that is just so curious and so loving and just so rad enables me to find that balance and to step into a place of gratitude and figuring out how to do it all and to do it all with a grateful heart. So she's my how, she's my why, she's my absolute everything.
So I feel like with that outlook, it's no wonder that, sure, it's been a stressful time, not wearing your clothes, not feeling comfortable in your clothes, but the transition that you're making now, stepping into this new version of yourself, is so powerful. What is one word that you would want to describe yourself the way you want to be seen?
One word? My husband would say that I don't have just one word.
All right.
If I have to choose just
you
one...
You can give me a phrase. I'm cool with that too.
What comes to mind is mindful. Having a mindful presence, and I think with that being complete, being thorough, well put together, but mindful in all of that.
So my favorite thing to do, I love asking that question because I like to align our insides with our outsides and have that come to life in our style, because otherwise it's just so cookie cutter. Do you feel like that translates into how you work with your clients as well?
Oh, entirely. Everything that I do with my clients, I say that my clients become my friends, and I wholeheartedly treat my clients as if I would be treating my very best friend. I am so mindful in my communication, in my approach, and the experience that they have, in the delivery of their photos. When I'm at their photo shoot, whatever it is, I make such a commitment to be 100% present so that their images really reflect the emotions that were there, and not just, in the same world as fashion and styling, so is to photography, and that there's so many talented photographers out there, but you definitely get cookie cutter things. And for me, my approach is to be authentic and intimate and just really find those real moments.
I love that. And I feel like our style, how we work with our clients, how we speak to the people around us and attract our soulmate clients to us has so much to do with our journey. And
Completely.
you have an amazing journey, right? Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Oh my gosh. So I'll start at my favorite point in my life, and the major transition was one day I asked myself a question, or whatever source the question kept coming from was, are you existing? Are you actually living? Are you just existing? Are you actually living? And I had realized at that point in my life, I was just existing. I was happy, but I was going through the motions and doing what I thought I was supposed to do. And I made the decision to finally follow a dream of teaching English in Tanzania. I found myself on a very small island off the coast of Tanzania called Mafia Island. And from there, life just evolved and unfolded. I met my now husband. Not what I thought would happen there. I met my now husband while teaching on the island. And I tapped into and fell in love with a different part of myself than I ever had before. I would take photo walks every day. I would write. For the first time, I discovered my soul. And from there, life has just evolved. I came back home, decided to get my yoga teacher training. I got my TEFL certification so I could teach around the world. I went and taught English in Costa Rica for 6 months. I taught English in South Africa for a year. I lived in South Africa off and on for 3.5 years while we worked on getting my husband's visa approved for him to immigrate to the States, which my heart goes out to all the souls that have to go through that. And then, in 2015, I launched Ashley Strong Photography full-time, which has just been a passion of a profession. And I've been very blessed to have it grow and expand since. And now I've got a team and a corporation, and it's just blossomed into more than I could have ever imagined.
Just living the dream. That's
Some days.
amazing.
Now I got my babes too to keep me on my toes.
Living the mama entrepreneur life. I love it. That's incredible. Well, I feel like your background makes you so uniquely qualified to help people feel comfortable in these big special moments in their life, right? It's almost like you're coaching them to feel comfortable on camera. Do you feel like you've had to coach yourself to feel comfortable when the camera's reversed onto you?
That's such a good question. I think bringing it back to what you just asked of my journey to lead me here is when I took yoga teacher training, I did it to understand yoga. I didn't know I'd be taking a life training. And one of the things...
Isn't that like entrepreneurship though? In a nutshell, I'm gonna start a business because I like it. And then you're like, oh my gosh, it's so much mindset work.
So much mindset work. It really is. But something that blossomed so beautifully out of yoga teacher training that I do with my clients is I use a lot of cues and alignment cues and alignment phrases that I learned in yoga and postures. Sorry, I'm looking down at my daughter.
Speaking of postures, look at that.
My daughter's doing yoga down there.
Oh, good.
I use these alignment cues to really help put people in an empowering poses.
I love that.
So I always say we'll set up the shot for them. I love light. I love sun flares. So I'll set up the shot and then I'll give them options, of which I coach them through these options of giving them yoga poses. So it helps them really get to understand their body as well. And you can really see the confidence and the comfort and the happiness in the photos.
You're such a talented photographer and you have such a gift for capturing that moment that tells a story. And I really think that our clothes tell a story too, especially if you're mindful about the way that you dress. So I'm curious, has your wardrobe always helped you embody this word mindfulness?
Oh, that's such a good question. I would say absolutely. I will never forget the first time. It was right when I started my business. I had clunky old car and I had no money, and
didn't we all?
Right? Just piecemealing life together. And I showed up at a photo shoot and I looked down and there was a stain on my pants and a big stain on my shirt, and my shoes were raggedy. And I remember so vividly promising myself I would never show up to a photo shoot like this again.
Yeah. I just want to give you like a little grace, like your former self, because nothing had changed, right? Like you have such a talent. You had that gift, but how we show up really speaks to the inside too.
Oh, totally.
Right? How what we put on our body is just an extension. We're like, I like to say, we're like a walking vision board for the things that we want to attract into our lives, you know? So I've been there.
Yeah.
I get that. I've looked down and thought the same thing.
Yeah.
So when you booked your first photo shoot for your website, or you were putting yourself now in front of the camera on social media, how was that? How did you feel?
It was the best thing I could have done for myself. For myself, not just my business, because it was, and I'll admit, it was a couple years into my photography business before she's having fun with Nemo down there.
I love it. I love it.
It was a couple years into my photography business before I made the investment and really did a full-blown photo shoot. I got my hair done, I got my makeup done, I picked a bunch of outfits, I scouted locations, I did all of it, and oh yeah, that's right.
She got her photo shoot on. That's right.
And it was the first time that I really embodied these different aspects of myself that I wanted to be able to not just share with my clients and my friends and the community that supported me, but I also wanted to be a display of you get out what you put into something.
Yeah.
And the more you understand and align with this, let's say, walking vision board of how you dress, the better you can really communicate who you are in your message and really start to attract people that feel similar.
So it gets easier, right? Getting in front of people, getting visible, it gets so much easier. Once you rip the Band-Aid off, right? You book the photographer, you get your hair and makeup done, you get some clarity on who you're talking to, and you just do it, right? Because had you done it 2 years before, imagine maybe the confidence or like the shifts that would have happened prior, right? So it's amazing that what can happen when you finally do it.
Yeah.
So do you have any words of wisdom for new mamas, entrepreneurs who are on this journey of trying to get visible, trying to be seen and heard in this new body and in this crazy, crazy life?
I mean, that's such a beautiful question. I think first to go out to mamas is you're doing an amazing job. Like, you're doing an amazing job and you're absolutely gorgeous. I think all too often there's so much body shaming of like, oh, you don't fit into your clothes yet. Or like, oh, you haven't gone back to work out. And it's just like, you've got to honor your journey and the process and the blessing of having that child. So that's like to the mamas. I think to anyone becoming more visible in their brand and in their business is just do it. Be you and show you. And the greatest gift is to show up for yourself. And in return, you're showing up for the people that are meant to be surrounding you and in your community. I think, you know, there is always the question of like, why didn't I do it 2 years sooner? And it took me building the courage in myself those few years. And now I just hope that in doing that, I can support people or inspire people to do it today. So start today. Don't wait.
You heard her. Good. So I have one last question for you. What would you tell yourself, that version of yourself 2 years ago that was afraid to book that very first photo shoot?
The very first photo shoot of myself? Oh gosh. Work with amazing people. But honestly, like, wear things that 100% embody you. And what does it mean to express yourself on the outside in this walking vision board? Not what are other people in the industry doing, not what do you think you need to wear. It is, who are you? How do you want to show up in this world? And what does that look like? And let that come to life.
Can you just say that to my version of myself when I started my business too? I needed you in my corner. I went through so many horrendous photo shoots, I can't even tell you. You can scroll to the very bottom of my feed and you can see I'm just like, there's no smile. It's so sad. I didn't know what I was doing. But it's true, when you surround yourself with women, with strong people who are here to support you and encourage you along the way, you can't do anything wrong. You're just learning, you're developing, you're growing, getting more clear every step. It's beautiful. Thank you so much, baby Orion and Ashley, for hanging out with us today. Thank you. Amazing. You are such a lucky baby. You're such a good mommy. So I cannot wait to go work on our batch wardrobe. We'll get you all set up for your content categories so you show up for your photo shoot. Amazing.
Thank you.
And today, I'm gonna walk you through Ashley Strong's amazing batch wardrobe. She's an awesome photographer and an amazing entrepreneur mama. And I cannot wait to go through this wardrobe with you. She's gonna be able to create 6 months of amazing content in just 6 outfits or less.